You won't last a minute against me. Human, she mocked, and paid for her arrogance in a heartbeat. The great dueling hall of Valerian Prime burned bright, under the lights of 1,000 hovering drones. The crowd roared. Aliens from dozens of worlds gathered to watch the match between the Dominion's most decorated warrior and a single human soldier. At the center of the ring stood Captain Mason Ward, Terran Marine Corps. His armor was old, matte black, scarred from years of trench war on distant moons. Across from him, in gleaming gold and silver, towered Commander Sael'ra Vorn, a 7-foot Aurelian duelist, undefeated across 12 systems. She smiled, a sharp, cruel thing. You won't last a minute against me, human. Mason rolled his neck, eyes calm, voice low. Then stop wasting my time. Gasps rippled through the alien audience. To insult an Aurelian champion before the fight? Unthinkable. But the human didn't flinch. The duel clock began to tick. 60 seconds. Won the first strike. Sael'ra's blade, an arc of blazing plasma, sang through the air. The light was so bright, the cameras dimmed. Her speed was inhuman. Her precision legendary. She was a blur of motion. Each strike measured to dissect her opponent atom by atom. But Mason didn't move like the others. He didn't dance. Didn't flinch. He waited, and when her blade came for his neck, he leaned an inch just enough, and the plasma missed by a hair. The crowd roared. She attacked again, faster, harder, each blow leaving glowing scars in the arena floor. Mason stepped through the storm, calm, silent, reading her every pattern. You should have stayed home, Terran, Sael'ra hissed. Yeah, he muttered, catching her wrist. They keep telling me that. He twisted. The plasma, sword ripped from her grip, spun through the air and embedded itself into the arena wall with a hiss. The crowd went dead silent. 32 seconds. 2, the human way. Sael'ra froze. For the first time in her career, she was unarmed before her opponent. Mason didn't attack. He stood still, eyes on hers. Pick it up, he said. You're not done yet. Rage flared in her chest. She summoned the blade back through her armor's magnetic field. It flew to her hand. You're going to regret that, human. Mason smiled faintly. You first. She lunged again, but this time he moved forward instead of back. The impact thundered across the hall. She swung. He caught her arm, slammed his elbow into her chest plate, and drove her backward. Her armor's shields flared, cracking under the force. He could have killed her. He didn't. Instead, he stepped back and let her breathe. You fight beautifully, he said, but beauty doesn't win wars. 3, the clock hits 50. She roared, igniting both her energy blades now. Twin arcs of molten light carved the air. Mason dropped his rifle, drawing his old steel combat knife, a weapon from a forgotten century. The audience laughed. A knife against plasma? Madness. Sael'ra charged. The first blade came down, and Mason sidestepped, his knife slashing the control module on her gauntlet. Sparks flew. The plasma flickered out. The second blade came sideways. Mason ducked under it, came up inside her guard, and slammed the pommel of his knife into the underside of her jaw. She fell. The clock read 0:54. 4, the heartbeat. Mason stood over her, breathing steady. His voice was soft, almost regretful. Told you I'd last a minute. She glared up, fury mixing with confusion. How? You shouldn't have this strength, your species. We're not built for pretty fights, he said. We're built for surviving them. He offered her a hand. She hesitated, then took it. The crowd didn't cheer. They watched, stunned, silent, learning. Because for the first time, they'd seen what the Dominion had always dismissed, that a human didn't need armor, tech, or advantage, just the will to outlast anyone. 5, After the fight. Later, in the training halls, Sael'ra watched a replay of the duel. She slowed the footage frame by frame, studying every move. He hadn't been faster. He hadn't been stronger. He'd simply been smarter. He knew where to take the hit, when to risk pain, how to strike when others hesitated. Every move built from experience, scars, and instinct. When Mason passed by her quarters, she turned to face him. Captain Ward. Commander, you fought like no one I've ever seen. He smiled faintly. That's because no one fights like a human until they have no choice. 6. The lesson. Weeks later, she trained under his supervision. No shields, no gravity stabilizers. Just strength, reflex, and grit. When she fell, he made her stand. When she failed, he told her one thing. You don't lose when you hit the ground. You lose when you stop getting back up. By the end of the month, she was different. Her movements raw, imperfect, alive. And one day, during sparring, she caught him off guard, dropped him to the mat in 58 seconds. She grinned. You said I wouldn't last a minute. Mason smiled back. Good. Now you're thinking human. Epilogue. Word of the duel spread through the Dominion. Commanders whispered about the Terran who beat their champion in under a minute, and the champion who then trained under him. Across the stars, a quiet respect began to grow, not for human strength, but for human spirit.